Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Magical Witchy World TV. I am Star Ravenhawk.
And I am Rhonda Allen. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday.
Yeah. Now on with the show.
On with the show.
It's a magical, witchy world. It's a magical, witchy world.
That was epic. That
That's
was
the that's
Welcome,
epic.
performed
welcome.
by that yeah that song was written for the show by and performed by Dark Moon Spirit Scarf. He's awesome.
That was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I'd never seen it before. Epic
Yeah.
intro.
All right.
Well,
Well,
Mary
So
Moots again.
welcome, Michael, Uncle Butch. I believe that you prefer to be called, but
Mm.
yeah. Yes.
Well, because if you search Michael Correll, even if you search my middle name, you might find a guy on death row in Arizona.
Oh,
There's
really?
a lot of people with that name, and it also confuses me with the Corellian tradition. Just because they stole my
mm,
name doesn't mean I'm a Corellian.
That's funny.
But Uncle
good
Birch,
point.
I'm the only one, and
Okay. All right.
Right
nobody's
on.
even like fake my account on
Yeah.
TikTok yet.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
That is
Um.
fabulous. Well, welcome, Uncle Birch. Welcome, and thank you for
Thank you.
joining us this week. We are
Yeah,
happy to
glad
have
to be
you.
here. Glad to
Yes.
As
be
we
here.
like to do, As we like to do for all of our shows, we'd like to introduce you to anyone watching live or on playback and go through your bio first. So, Michael Correll is a lifelong teacher. Uncle Birch is a lifelong teacher of witchcraft online and in person, an initiate and high priest in several traditions. He can be found everywhere under the name Uncle Birch. He is the longest running teacher of witchcraft on YouTube, and his podcast, Widdershins, a volatile podcast of witchcraft, can still be found online and randomly broadcasts on several platforms. Can be found on most social media at Witch School at Gumroad, his online university of witchcraft, his products at unholyblends.com. So when we start
Yeah.
scrolling your website, we should use, and I know it's for your products, unholyblends.com, but can people find you that way as well? Or should they just
Well,
find you?
yeah, actually, Unholy Blends right now is down. I'm like revamping the entire site, so it'll probably be down
Okay.
for about a
Gotcha.
month or so. But
Gotcha.
uh, like I always say, when people give me a hard time on the internet, I say, Google me, bitch. Just
Yes.
Google Uncle Birch and you find everything. I'm the only Uncle Birch. Nobody ever came up with that. There's a million different tree names out there for witches, but nobody came up with Birch or Uncle Birch. So just,
Fabulous.
yeah, you'll find me. You'll find me.
I am excited. Well, I'm so excited that you're here. So,
Yeah.
welcome and
Absolutely.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. And we've been looking forward to this conversation with you,
Mhm.
to just discuss your life and your journey with everything. So,
Oh,
but
wow.
my first question for you
Come
is,
on.
I think we all kind of, when we begin from whatever year or era that we would began our journey into whatever spirituality we are, we kind of refer to ourselves as a certain, maybe a high priest or Wiccan or witch or root person, whatever it is. Or as the time went by, you start with a certain name and then you end up at where you are right now and what you refer to yourself as. Not the Uncle Birch title, but more like what what your spirituality is
Mhm,
for
mhm.
you and what it represents for you. So if you could kind of give us a little bit of the journey of what you referred to yourself as, not what other people referred to you as, but what you referred to yourself as, and what you call yourself now. Because I think we all kind of, we discover something and we go, oh, this is a nice path, what is it? And then we kind of go from there and into, well, this is what I am now because I'm older, I know where I am in this world, and this is
Mhm.
my spirituality. So what do you think?
Okay. In the original tarot deck, there were two fools.
Okay.
That's where the two jokers come from in the playing card deck.
Mm.
One fool had a full rucksack, and the other fool had an empty rucksack. And this may have been the two paths that you can go by that Led Zeppelin was referring to, or they may have been referring to the right or the left, but two paths in the craft. One where you spend, roughly a year and a day filling your rucksack, your bag of tricks with things, and the other where you just go onto the road and fill your rucksack full of things. Um,
Mhm.
I did the first one. I went through the year and a day process, and then you went out into the world and filled my rucksack with more things. But I would say that the magical, like people always ask me on TikToks, like, how will I know my path or what path I'm on? I said, you will not.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
if anybody tells you you will know that path or what path you're on, get away from them. They're probably trying to sell you something. They call it the twisted path, the winding path for a reason. You will not see your path. It winds around the corner. What you do is start walking and
Mhm.
eventually look back over your shoulder and you go, damn, that's one hell of a spiritual path I've been on. But you ain't gonna see it. You ain't gonna
Mhm.
know it. You ain't gonna be able to name your path. Just start walking, man, and putting things in your bag of tricks, and that will be your path.
Okay. But what did you
Right
call
on.
yourself though at the beginning, and what do you call yourself now?
What I called myself in the beginning was a witch, a Wiccan.
Okay.
Um, Now I have to call myself a Polero and also a warlock. And
Okay.
back then, warlock was considered a bad word, and people didn't embrace it. And over
Right.
time, I've come to embrace it for different reasons because I'm really the only heterosexual male witch to embrace the word warlock that I know. But
Okay.
I'm embracing it for different reasons than
Okay. Yeah.
my friends. Yeah.
Well, you're the second person I've heard embrace it. I remember Christian Day saying that to me, that
Yeah.
he, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay.
Right on. So you shared a little bit about the path, the journey, the I'm going to say the wanderer. But tell us a bit about how what brought you to this work? What brought you to saying I need to, you said you did your year in a day, but what brought you to even taking that on?
Okay, so I'm gonna have to talk really fast because I know it's only like 15 minutes or something like that.
That's
But
okay. No, we
uh,
have
Don't worry
time.
about
We
that.
have
Don't worry.
uh,
time.
we were ditching school one day and hanging out at the hangout place, and the hangout place was because the mother of the hangout place was working during the day, and we suspected that she was a witch. So we
Mm.
broke into her room, and I got into her. I opened her cabinet, and I immediately
Oh my
recognized
God.
everything in the cabinet. It was witch shit, and I
Mm.
opened her. I opened her notebook, and the notebook told me, what spell she did, everything
Oh
she
my
did with the
gosh.
spell, and then
Wow.
3 months later was the results of the spell, and I understood it. I knew what it was, and we're looking through all this shit, and we're going, "Oh my God, she really is a witch." And then there was this one jar of like some pink powder, and it said the Eye of the Cat, 3314 East Broadway, Long Beach, California, 90803. I don't remember any of my home addresses, but I
Mm.
still remember the witch store where I grew up, and it's still there,
Right.
and they're still running. And So I made a long trek there, ended up there, spent my whole time there,
Wow.
reading books. This ominous woman just wandered by, and every day, as soon as I'd finish a book, she'd like drop another book in my lap, and it was the perfect book. And then one day, she wandered by and she didn't drop a book in my lap and just hung over me. And I looked up and she said, um, we have classes here. No, normally you have to be 18, but there's certain kids that wake up around 13, 14 years old, and we are on the lookout for those people. And
Yeah.
if you can get your parents permission, you can come to a class. I was pretty much emancipated. I was a latchkey kid. I
Mhm.
didn't need my parents permission for a goddamn thing. So eventually I'd spent so much time there that high school started. I ditched so much high school, they're going to kick me out. They kicked me out of one high school. They kicked me out of another high school. The next high school they were going to send me to would be the future high school of Snoop Doggy Dogg. So
Wow.
in the hood. And at that point, I was old enough to take the GED. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to drop out of high school. I'm going to study witchcraft full time.
Right on.
Kids, I'm not recommending that to you. Stay in school. But it worked out for me. At
It was
14,
mhm.
13, 14 years old, I found out what I'd be doing the rest of my life. They were teaching me
Wow.
not only witchcraft, they were teaching me how to brew things, how to run a witch store, all of the things I'd be doing for the rest of my life. And so hopefully I made it in time. There you
Right
go.
on.
There's the
Yeah.
story.
That that is fabulous. And what that just tells me is that, we're struggling to keep brick and mortar locales and places afloat,
Which is hard.
They're
It's hard.
important. It's
but they
important,
are
man.
important. They
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
important.
I
Absolutely
mean,
so.
if I can interrupt for just a second,
Yeah.
the name Uncle Birch. So the first witch store that opened in my hometown of Santa Cruz, um, before I opened my own store, I landed a job there. I ended up being the manager there, like immediately, of course, because I had all this experience. But you had to be known by a witch name
Mhm.
and nothing else. And I chose birch.
Mm.
Birch is the first tree in the Druidic alphabet. It's the doorway to the other world. I
Mm.
recognize how much me wandering into a witch store changed my life. And I
Yeah.
recognize that every person that walked through that door, my job was to change their fucking life, to send
Mm,
them on the right path. It was an important position, even though it's just like fucking retail. Uh,
right.
it was an important place to be. So I chose
Yeah.
Birch. And then as I got older, somebody latched Uncle onto it and it just kind of stuck.
Right.
Right
Right.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So you mentioned about being claiming the name and embracing the name warlock. So from your point of view, what does it mean to be that warlock or a warlock?
Well, the best they've been able to break it down is an oath breaker. And the oaths that they seem to be talking about when they're talking about oath breaking is oath breaking to the Christian church. Um, I made no oaths.
Mhm.
Whether, I was baptized against my will, that was the Catholic way, but I did not do that. I take oaths really seriously, but I
Yeah.
made no oaths to those people. Um, so there's been a lot of debate, and Christian Day put out, $10,000 if anybody could prove that it meant breaking your oath to your coven. Nobody ever collected that money. Um, I took it to separate myself because. In my entire life in witchcraft, it was really important to us as male witches to support the female witches and to uplift them because of what all the patriarchy had done before
Yeah.
that. And we were taught at the time, saying, look, they're going to say really bad stuff about you.
Yeah.
They're going to call you warmongers and all this stuff, and just let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it
And
pass.
embrace it.
We-
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get past this. They've been through a lot, and we're here to support them. But after 45 years or so, none of my sisters have come to our aid. None of our sisters have come and said, hey, when Z Budapest said that you are lower forms of life that should be eradicated from the planet, none of you said, hey, Z, stop saying that shit. We are brothers
Actually,
and
I
sisters.
gotta interrupt that for a minute
Yeah,
because I didn't even know she said it. I don't pay
yeah,
attention to. I've never been to
yeah,
her page. I've never
yeah,
even until right now. I never knew she said that. So I
yeah,
can't come to defense of something that I never heard until literally right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
She,
but you saying nobody came forward?
yeah. She said those things, and I can't think of a female witch that came forward to support their brothers.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
that's
and this is
bizarre.
all through the 80s, the 90s. This went on. I mean, Z Budapest kind of all of her whole movement started in my hometown of Santa Cruz,
Mm,
where
Mm,
I was for like 30 years,
mm,
and just nobody ever came. It's like our whole thing was like we're going to defend the women, period, and we're gonna accept any abuse that we get, and we're gonna defend them because of all this shit that they've been through. And then
mhm,
we get people I mean, the goddess spirituality movement and Wicca rose side by side, but then the goddess spirituality movement, some sides like Z Budapest were just like absolute fucking man haters. So,
yeah. I
mm,
don't
and
know. I've never
so,
followed her stuff.
so at a certain point, it's like, okay, I've waited and waited for my sisters to step up and say that that's not okay. And at this point, I'm going to embrace the masculine term of witch. Even though I call myself a witch way more than I call myself a warlock, I do refer to myself as a warlock as well.
Okay. All right.
right
Sounds
on.
good. But I, I, I
Oh,
do
There's a
I
lot
do
to it,
have
a
to
lot to
say there
it.
might be many of us who never heard of her saying it.
And that's
So
that's
like
that's
myself, because I would have
absolutely,
stepped up and said
absolutely,
something. I
absolutely.
because my sons, I have two boys, and both of
Yeah,
them were raised as witches.
yeah.
And whatever they wanted to call themselves is entirely up to them. So I
Mhm.
supported them entirely. So if I had ever personally heard it, I know I would have said something. But
Well,
again,
well,
I
well,
don't follow Z Budapest, so I
well,
don't know.
just let me say something really quick there. That's the goddess's sense of humor. She cursed Z Budapest with two boys. I can imagine what their lives are like.
Oh my gosh.
hey,
Well, I don't know what her
yelling
life
for
has
the
been like,
past.
so I can't
Yeah,
say
yeah,
what caused because I think people tend to relate their spirituality and their different things to what has occurred in their lives. So
yeah,
I don't know personally what has occurred in her life, so I can't say why she is. And a lot of
yeah.
women, things have happened to them
Oh, she went
traumatically.
through a lot. She went through a
Yeah.
lot. I
So I
understand.
don't
Yeah,
know, so I
yeah,
can't say,
yeah, yeah,
but I would have certainly defended males because I have two boys and in
yeah.
general across the board because I don't like the fact that the patriotic world owns everything religiously. Everything
Well,
is done via that. And so I
absolutely.
like a balance. I don't like the
Yeah,
goddess. I mean, it's to each his own. I don't like the goddess
yeah.
traditions that they all just goddess only because I
Mhm,
think there's a balance. And I think people
mhm,
tend to not see that there's a balance between the both. And
Yes.
to each his own kind of a thing.
right.
Well,
I mean, as is the case with humankind, with all people,
Yeah.
we have this. We're going to bring our own biases to whatever our practice. So we,
mhm,
whatever pagan practice and tradition, we're going to bring our own biases,
Yep.
our
Yep.
own
mhm.
wounds, our
Into
own
traditions and
whatever
everything. Yeah.
into it, and then we have to work through that as well.
Yeah.
The
Which is kind of
challenge is
sad.
acknowledging that we have things that we're bringing, our own
Right.
baggage, and
Right.
try to work through that too.
But
But
actually, just really quickly though, actually every
mhm,
religion around
mhm,
on this planet has all
mhm,
been used in a biased way by depending on who's running it. I don't care whether
absolutely,
it's
Absolutely.
Christian or Catholic,
Yeah,
it's all ran by
yeah.
their
absolutely,
biases.
That's
So
the
that's
problem
absolutely.
with
just
the
in general.
religion. Yeah, that's the problem
Yeah,
with religion. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
You
it's a
got to
lot of
bring it.
biases that people
Hmm.
bring, whereas with certain groups
I
and
mean,
people,
I mean,
we
what?
want to keep it balanced.
I mean, if you think about it, some people one time wrote a book that said that God gave them the right to a certain piece of land.
Yeah,
That's the entire. And then these other people, they wrote a book that said that God gave them the right to that piece of land.
Right.
that's the religion that we deal with on this planet. It's
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
pretty much, pretty much.
some dudes got together and said we have the divine right to this shit because we said
Yeah.
so because we
Yeah,
wrote it in the
exactly.
fucking book.
Yeah, yeah, and you're
Yeah,
right
Right.
because they
yeah,
actually fought holy wars based on that,
yeah,
on
yeah.
whoever
Yes.
their
Absolutely,
biases and
Oh my
things like
God.
that. So
Still
it
doing
is
absolutely.
what
it.
it
They ain't,
is,
they
you
ain't
know.
ended it yet. It's still happening. So.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go
Well,
ahead, girl.
let's jump into another, bringing it back to responsibility for our own practice. Let me just ask the question: how is magic a part of your life in your everyday, Uncle Birch? How do you include that in your everyday?
Well, um,
I don't see you
right.
anymore. You went dark.
Oh, he's coming. He's just
Hold on just a
relocating,
second. Hold on just a second. Trying to turn on some light. I just realized I have 4% battery.
and it's
Oh,
important to get, plug
yeah.
in.
Do you know where the remote is, dear? Oh, I do. Okay. There we go.
Okay.
Right on.
All
Uh,
right. Sounds good. I know. You gotta watch out for the battery timing.
I know that just happened to somebody the other day. All of a sudden, they
I
went,
didn't realize that was going to happen.
"Yeah, it's all right. At least you saw it."
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
caught it
You
before it
noticed
I
it
went
mean,
off
before
because
before
it could have been
4%.
worse.
before it
Yeah.
was too late.
4% was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
All right. I have a lightning bolt, so I should be good.
Okay, there
Sweet.
you go. There you go. Okay.
So we're circling back then, and the question is, how do you incorporate your magical practice, your work, in your everyday? In your, how is it a part of your life?
Oh
Aside,
my
I
God.
mean,
I mean, I'm 43 years in.
hmm
It is my life. Everything's integrated. It's like, even my social media. It's like I always wanted. I never wanted to be normal,
hmm
but I
hmm
wanted my beliefs to be kind of normalized. And it's like my social media is all witches. I got
hmm
maybe 5 family members that they know just deal with the witch shit.
yeah, yeah,
But it's just there's no border between the mystical and the mundane anymore.
right on,
It integrates over time. It's like everything I do is
Yeah.
part mundane and part witch.
right, right
Awesome.
on.
Awesome. So a little bit about what's important to you. Like, what do you think is most important to you right now?
Well, right now I'm dealing with the fact that I warned everybody on every social media I could for 2 years of Project 2025. And
Mm,
Yeah.
people called me a conspiracy theorist, a
mm.
warmonger, all kind of shit. And it's like now we're in it,
Yep.
and
Knee
my
deep.
all of my being is focused on beating it. I was the person that started the Hex That Bitch campaign that culminated on summer solstice, and it seems to have had some effects on that bitch. But we might have to follow up again. My focus right now is blackout the system. September 16th through the 20th, a general strike in this country, and we're hoping other countries too.
Hmm.
People don't work, people don't spend. Even if you could even if you can only take one day off or close your shop for one day, we've got to affect the system and show that we run it. If the
Oh, it does.
workers, if the
Yes.
workers fucking quit, if the workers take the day off, the gears stop turning. So
Yep.
black out the system. If you get over to my TikTok, which is now Uncle Birch 10, because I've lost 9 accounts.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I've been using AI. I'm appalled and fascinated at the same time. AI uh, makes a perfect song every time, and so
Mm.
every day I'm putting out 4 new songs in every
Oh my
genre
gosh.
known to man of the same lyrics about shut down the system. So if you get over to
Mm.
my TikTok, check that out, share them around. But definitely September 16th through the 20th. If anytime. If you can take off all of that time, that's
Right.
great. Like, it's gonna be my first vacation in years.
That
I
is
am off.
amazing.
I am not making any money for anybody else, and I'm not spending shit. So I'm trying right now.
General,
I'm just trying to get up enough money to buy enough groceries so I don't have to go.
right on. General
Yeah.
strikes are really difficult in this country, but I,
Well,
I
that's the
Yeah,
I'm
thing.
yeah.
here for the effort.
Or at
I
The
least
effort.
just shop from the people that you know that voted the right way. But that's hard to tell because a lot of them are now lying and saying that
Just
they
not
did
yeah.
when
doing
we
anything.
know they didn't.
I just want to call
See,
out.
I grew up in a family of union organizers.
Mm,
And to this
mm,
day, my brother's still organizing unions.
right
My
on.
great grandfather was organizing unions in like Appalachia. Um,
Mm,
I've never had a general strike in my life, and I'm not going to miss this one.
right
This is
Right.
my
on.
first
Right on.
general strike of my life, and it's the most important,
Oh
Uh-oh.
no.
best reason to take a vacation
There you
Okay,
ever.
go.
wait.
There you go. You're back. We thought we lost you there
Okay.
for a second, Uncle Bert.
Oh,
I
did
just
that
want to
just
call
lock
out.
me
We
up?
have a bunch of
Oh,
folks.
God damn it.
Uh-oh.
It's
We
good. You're
can hear
good.
you. We can hear
Oh,
you
you
and see you.
fucking piece of shit. Oh,
No,
my
we can hear
God.
you. We can hear you. It's all good.
God damn it.
Michael, we can hear you.
I don't know how to get back.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
ah,
He'll come back
he
in. He'll
pushed.
come back
He
in. I'm
yeah,
sure
he
he'll come
pushed the
back
button.
in.
Oh, there he is.
Uh,
There you are. You came
yeah,
back. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
there
apparently
hear
you
my
you.
go.
my
We can hear
alarm went
you.
off and fucked me up. So
Oh, oh, oh,
hopefully I
oh,
said
oh.
all the important stuff before
And
that happened.
then, no, it's all good. And also,
We
I
were
just
hearing
want
you
to
the whole
shout out.
time.
Yep.
Oh, you were hearing me when I was cussing at the thing? Oh,
Oh
wow.
yes.
Sorry
Oh
about
yes. It's all good. It's
that.
all good. But
that was you being what do you call it? Unfiltered.
that's right. It's all good.
I
I just have
usually
to
am.
call out. We have
Yeah.
people in the chat. So I have to call out Mr. Spooky Joey, who's in the chat. He said he was at the Witch Festival over the summer. Yay.
Oh,
And then
good. Great, great,
Roland
great. Yeah.
Asin, I said I'm really bad at pronouncing the name, so don't hate on me. And also Lavetta Davis is back. Welcome back. But there's a question that Mr. Spooky Joey had for you, Uncle Birch. And that the question is any advice for Catholic parents who can't accept their son's practice? So I'm
Um,
throwing that question out there in case that is something that you can address. But I just wanted to acknowledge everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for chat for
yeah.
commenting and posting up your questions.
Catholic parents that can't accept their son's practice. Oh, wow. Well, there are many forms of witchcraft and ATRs that have survived disguising themselves as Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
There are similarities that maybe they can, um, look at together. Most of the gods got turned into saints once upon a time. Unfortunately, most of the goddesses got turned into demons, except for like Bridget and a couple other exceptions.
Lilith too.
Um,
A few others.
Lilith too. But the similarities is like you couldn't disguise craft and other traditions as Catholicism if there wasn't similarities.
Mm-hmm.
Now, matter of fact, one day when I was on Candelo's corner, somebody uh, said, how do you make holy water? And I just blurted my ass out and told them how to make holy water. And in the back of my mind, another piece of me is going, "What are you doing? You don't know how to make holy water. Shut the hell up." But then, after I got off the air, I went and I looked it up, and I found out that the standard method to this day of making holy water in the Catholic Church comes from the Greater Key of Solomon, which is where Gerald
High
Gardner
magic.
got it. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
exactly like Wicca. It's
Yeah.
exactly how you make the water in Wicca, except you're not doing it to the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Right.
It's
All
Right.
it
the
is basically is
same thing.
blessing the water. That's all it
Yeah.
Yes.
is.
Yes.
Yes.
Blessing the water.
So you bless the water
Exactly.
every time we do your circle and you bless your water. You just
Yep.
created holy water. That's
That's
it.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely.
And that's
It's
enough. Yeah.
and therein lies one of
And
the biggest
that's actually was high
truths that
magic.
most
The
people
seal of
need to
Solomon is all high
remember.
magic
Yeah.
and everything.
One of the
Yeah.
biggest
That's serious stuff. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
the biggest things that people need to remember as magical practitioners is that yeah, there are if you're within a tradition, there are certain things that you follow, da 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 da. But the magic, that magic is you create that magic. It is found within you, and you
Mhm.
have to do your studies. But you are your most prized magical tool.
Right,
It's
right,
you.
right. And one little bit of
Ugh.
advice for the person asking about the dealing with the Catholic parents. My mom is extremely Christian, and pretty much I just kind of say I'm the oddball mom. Deal with it. She doesn't have to
Okay.
deal. She either does not accept it or does not. I really don't care, because she will shove her Christianity down my throat. And if they're gonna do that to us, we can defend ourselves in the same manner. And I don't shove it down her throat. I just simply say, that's your thing. This is my thing.
Right,
Respect.
exactly.
We're all adults.
Mhm.
Respect one another, and that's it. If you don't have respect for mine, then I won't respect yours. How about that? Or I'll
Right.
just keep respecting yours until you learn to respect mine. Just create
Simple
boundaries. To me, it's as simple
boundaries.
as that. But to each his own, how you deal with it, depending on how old you are. But telling them to respect you for who you are as a person and an individual, and not judge you on your spirituality, would be a great. Just telling them it's straight.
Love
All
it.
right.
Love it.
Rhonda,
Let's
your
talk
question.
about community. Tell us a bit about your work within the community where you're at, and community at large. Tell us about what's important to you right now in community.
Well, I'm in New Orleans now, and uh, my my best friend, and I haven't had a best friend in probably like 20 years. But my
Mhm.
best friend who is departed, Hudu Sembois.
Yeah,
When
he was
when we
awesome.
ca- when we came to this town, he told me, he says, "Look, when you got a problem in New Orleans, your neighbor has a problem.
Mhm.
When your neighbor has a problem, you got a problem. Everybody on the block's got a problem. We work together to solve each other's problems." And
Right
Mm-hmm.
on.
I'm coming from Hollywood, California.
Mm,
I've never heard anything like that.
mm,
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Well, I'm like, okay. So when we were here looking for a house, um,
mhm.
the we were in an Airbnb, just shopping around for a house, and
Yeah,
I go around the corner. I'm going to get go to the liquor store or something, and
yeah.
there's this guy, and he's trying to get a washing machine up just like a couple steps, and his girlfriend is just standing there with her arms crossed. And I feel her just hating on him,
Wow.
and she's not helping him
But
get the
she's
thing up the
judging him.
stairs. She's just hating on him because he can't get up
Right.
the fucking stairs. And so, hey, neighbor, because he was my neighbor right then.
Right.
He lived right around the corner from where I was temporarily staying. And do you need some help? And he goes, please, brother, please.
Wow. Yeah.
So I helped him get that thing up the stairs, and he gave me the biggest damn hug. Um,
Yeah,
Wow.
there
and
you go.
so
There you go.
that's how I am here.
Right
It's like
on.
if my neighbors need a hand with anything, or I need a hand, it's like Southern
Oh,
hospitality is a real
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So
Awesome.
that's a powerful message.
so we're getting ready to do a thing. I think Hex is organizing some work to help the homeless, and I'm all in. Whatever they end up needing help with. I got a long history with Food Not Bombs. If you want
Yeah,
to like
yeah,
Mm,
come like cook soup on the sidewalk, man,
right
I'm your
on.
man. I know how to do it.
Right on.
Whatever we need to do to help our neighbors, I'm there.
yeah, yeah.
That
And
is
right now
awesome.
it's gonna need a lot of that, but
Hmm.
Project 2025, they're just rearing its head all over the place. But such is life.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So it's a helpful thing, and it's one of the reasons why Witches Fest, when we do it every year, we used to have different charities initially, and now we stick with food and the cancer research for the cancer hospital for children at St. Jude's. So we do
Nice.
Feed America, City Harvest, and St. Jude Children's Hospital has become our three main charities that we do, and it's rounded about food and the children,
Hmm.
and
Nice.
that's what we do it on. So I understand what you mean when you say about that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and if you ever if you ever hit me up for Witches Fest and I don't answer, remind me. My email is so
We
full
would
of
love to have
spam.
you. We would love to
My,
have you.
yeah,
You know,
Yes.
if you
I
can
haven't
make
been
it
there,
down
and
here, we would love to have
yeah,
you. You know, for Witches
yeah,
Fest, maybe 2026. You never
yeah,
know.
Yes.
yeah.
So
Been
hey,
been there a few times, but my email's full of spam, so you know where to get a
Right
hold of
on. Right
yeah,
on.
me.
I'm not good with the emails. I tend to hit people up on Facebook Messenger because it's
Perfect,
faster.
perfect. There's no spam. Yeah,
You know,
Yes. Right
yeah, so it
on.
works best. Okay,
right on.
so what would you like to see us as witches or our community accomplish? What would you like to see us do?
I would like to see an end to the petty, stupid witch wars that they tend to permeate on social media more than anything else, but
Yeah.
that's where most of us have our contact. Um, we
Unfortunately, yeah.
are in the midst of a Christian nationalist takeover of the government.
Yes.
Right.
They have never been our friends. Since we welcomed them upon the shores of Ireland, they
Yep.
immediately turned on us, and they have turned on us every time. In the words of Aurelia, we can never have peace with the Christians. And I wish that wasn't true. But history has shown
Yeah.
that to be true.
Yes,
We need to
unfortunately.
come together. We need to stop this petty bullshit. The person that said something bad to you on the internet is not your enemy. You don't need to hex them. Hex the orange fucking fascist, man.
Mhm.
Well, see, that's the
Use your
thing.
energy.
Human beings are interesting, but
Yeah.
I think in our communities, we see people who are very egocentric, narcissistic,
Oh, a lot of
and
that.
extremely all about themselves and to one up one another. And to me, I just kind of ignore those people. I literally have no time for those people because they're not in my realm, and I walk away,
Yeah.
It's the
but
same thing. It's like the baggage
I
you
don't
bring
have the
to your
time for it. I
the
honestly
baggage
don't.
you bring to your practice is the baggage you bring to your community is the baggage that ends up blowing up into
Right,
these
right.
silly,
Yeah.
silly
And
witch
people,
wars. Yeah,
and it's kind
that
of
it's
sad
not
to
helping.
watch. It's
Right.
kind
It
of
is.
sad to watch watching
It is.
people pick sides. Pick sides of what?
Yeah, and
First of
it's not
all,
supportive.
no one is giving you the exact truth. They're all giving you their
Yeah.
one-dimensional version of it to
Of
make
course.
them
Hmm.
get sympathy or empathy.
Of
They're
course.
Yeah.
not telling you the entire truth, and you sit there making a judgment based on that. No.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
If
a waste
I'm
of time.
telling a
I
story, I am telling what I did and what they did. I am not going to just say what they did to get the empathy because all I'm doing is giving everybody my one-sided story, which a lot of
mhm.
times is not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if people are
I
that dense or that
I
stupid to follow the narrative of a one-dimensional thing and pick sides,
People
then
are
I
gonna
gotta wonder
follow
about
what's
them in the first place. So I walk away.
yeah.
confirmation
Hey,
I
bias
always
is a thing.
I hold out for
Confirmation bias is a
logic.
thing.
I hold out for logic, reason,
yes,
and evidence.
Yeah.
yes,
And
That's not what a
that
lot of
keeps
people
me
do.
out of most of these internet mobs.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
don't give me some emotional fucking plea and don't use a bunch of
yep,
buzzwords that are going to elicit an emotional response. Give me logic, reason, and evidence, and then maybe I'll join your crusade.
right, yeah.
Without
Same thing
those,
with the GoFundMe and stuff. I don't like any of that.
It
yeah,
I think
doesn't.
because a lot of them are doing it for selfish reasons, but they make up whatever narrative they have to make up
hmm
again. And I'm sorry, but I walk away. I can't.
hmm
Yeah, unfortunately, the pulling on the emotional strings is what ropes people in. It's what
Yeah,
excites them. It's what titillates them, and that's
yeah,
what they get drawn to. Which is again
yeah.
sad but
well, they
true.
could just, if anything, if you're going
How
to
is
join the conversation, say, "This is an interesting story. What's the whole story?" Ask that question because the majority of times they will not answer you, or they will answer you with another narrative of theirs.
and nine
So
times out
walk
of
away.
10, it's not anybody's business, but whoever is in the why do we all have to get in the middle of whatever
Yeah.
that is?
Yep,
Leave it
Probably
yep,
be.
10. That's
It'll
probably
dry
10
up on
times
its
out of
own if
10. Yeah.
nobody pays it attention. It
yep,
will dry up
hmm
on its own. Let it be.
yep.
Yeah.
They just do this
What
whole empathy thing, and I just can't do it. I just can't do
right.
it.
It's a lot.
Plus, I know things about a lot of them that
I mean,
what I
when
know
you've
they're
been around the
saying is
block a
not
minute,
true, and I just walk away because I'm like, I can't. Because if I do, they will not like me hanging out their laundry. their dirty laundry. So I just walk
Not
away.
necessary. It's just
But
not
anyways,
necessary. Tell us
so
about what
go ahead.
projects you have coming up, Uncle Birch. Tell us about projects you have coming up or thinking about doing this year.
I'm planning on moving my witch school to a different server
Mm,
that charges less fees,
okay.
so I can sell the classes at lower fees. Like
Right on.
Gumroad just like keeps jacking up the fees. So
Yeah.
there's a new
Everybody.
one that I'm going to do.
Okay.
But then the closest one is the blackout the system.
Right
Uh,
on.
I'm looking
I'm
forward. I'm going to have a vacation, and it's going to be for a good purpose.
Okay.
right.
All right. Sounds good.
The
Replenishing is good.
question is
Replenishing is
important.
good.
The question is important too because we had some questions in the chat about what you about does Uncle Birch carry on a magical tradition or lineage passed down to him, or is he a solitary or starting a brand new path for others? So,
Uh,
it's just the question. So perhaps they can, that person can also find out about your school
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
currently on Gumroad, but I know you're going to be moving that to another platform.
Okay. So just keep reaching
I
out to you basically on
Yeah,
as Uncle Birch, and they'll see
yeah.
where you're changing to or your platforms, which is good.
Hmm.
right on.
Well, I come from an older tradition that most people never heard of, the
Mm.
Druidic craft of the wise.
Okay.
And
Mm.
there's a West Coast faction and there's an East Coast faction, and they've been at war for my whole lifetime.
Wow.
Uh,
And they
but
kind of
Speaking
with
say
about
who's what.
speaking
but
about witch wars.
yeah, encoded within the tradition is
Excuse me.
to incorporate your tradition at a certain, around high priesthood, turn it into your own tradition or version of that tradition. So now mine is called the Circle A system of magic. And
Ah,
Mm,
I've been teaching that for, a good 20, 30, I guess 30 years now.
right
Uh,
on.
but it's like encoded in the tradition for the tradition to keep evolving into new traditions.
right. Right.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
What?
And I did hear a little bit about that
Yeah.
fight, that war between the East and the West. I heard a bit
Yeah.
about it because I have a friend who's very druidic. Um, but so
Yeah.
she kind of kept me abreast, and it's just wow, a lot of things.
Well, um, there's like this disagreement whether the West Coast has the secrets and the East Coast only has the secrets, and so um, under an assumed name, I entered a correspondence course with the High Priestess of the East Coast tradition, and I got to a certain point where she said, I want you to come here to Kentucky or whatever it is to be initiated as a high priest, or you can skip the and do it remotely if you can answer me these questions free. What are the three keys of magic?
Mm,
Now, the three keys of magic are not a third degree secret. I teach them before the first degree because
Mhm.
without them, your magic won't work. Relaxation, concentration, and projection. Without those things, no magical system will work.
right.
But it's not a third degree secret. So at that point, I just ceased contact with the East Coast and realized that the West Coast actually knows what they're talking about and everything's okay.
Okay. All right. Sounds
Right
good.
I'm,
on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I
So
took up so much time with my stories, but I'm a storyteller. You should have known
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So what
All good.
events are you doing this year?
What?
What events are you doing this year? What other events are you?
Next thing I know is WitchCon. I think that's February.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, and you never know. You might come down for Witches Fest. You never know. All
Well,
right.
or up for Witches
at
Fest.
least
That's
do
next year.
at least do the cyber thing. It's like I'm a Cancer. I don't really want to leave home most of the time unless
Okay.
you know
All right.
unless I'm
I
Yeah, you
get
well
don't do
that.
paid.
any more of the cyber thing
Unless
anymore.
I'm really well paid for it, I don't want to go anywhere. But you
Yeah.
know,
I don't
you
blame
know,
I
you. I don't blame
understand
you one
that.
bit.
I do get
Hex
it.
Fest, I just walk to the French Quarter, 10 minutes away, and do my thing, and walk
I'm
home.
wearing
It's great.
I'm wearing my I don't think they changed the name of the place. The old Gargoyles store that was down in New Orleans. This is an
I think it's still
old
there.
t-shirt. They
I
changed the
think it's.
name of it, I think. Is it still Gargoyles?
I
I
thought it
don't
was.
know.
I've seen a
Oh,
store
maybe it
called
is.
Gargoyle.
This thing is
Yeah.
old as dirt, but yeah. But anyway,
All right.
I
Okay,
just
so we're running out of
we
time.
have to thank
Okay.
you so much for
Yes.
taking the time. I
Yeah,
know
we
we
really
didn't scroll
appreciate
a website, but
It was fun.
people
Had
can
a great
find
time.
you on all the socials by searching Uncle Birch. And
That's
they can
right.
find you on all the socials. They can
Yeah.
find you on TikTok. It's Uncle Birch 10.
Yeah.
So, yes, thank you so much for taking the time
it.
to
Yes.
come
Absolutely.
out and spending time with us tonight. We really appreciate it.
And you take
Thanks
care.
for having me all. It was fun.
Right
Absolutely.
on, right
Absolutely.
Okay.
on.
All right.
And
Merry meet again.
may we meet
Same
again.
here.
We're
Yeah.
just going to share a little something. I mean, we are probably going into our next year with our new Witches Fest commercial coming up, but these are just some of the old shows that we have here on on the channel.
All right. Well, hello and welcome
Woo!
back, everyone. This is your monthly horoscope for September 2025. All right.
Yes.
For each zodiac sign. Okay, and we're beginning with Aries, which just happens to be mine. I'm on the cusp between Aries and Taurus. But, anyways, ready, set, organize, Aries. The sun is in efficiency boosting Virgo until September 22nd, inspiring you to get back to the gym and streamline your workflow. And while you're cleaning up your physical environment, pay attention to your inner world, okay? Because on September 1st, Saturn had retrograded out of Aries and back into Pisces and your transitional 12th house. Step away from the mic for a minute, Aries, okay? Because you know you like to be just front and center with that. Because on September 6th, Changemaker Uranus begins its annual 5 month retrograde reversing course through Gemini and your communication center. So, Disruptor Uranus is known for triggering sudden changes, and you've been kind of feeling these no, those new areas since July 7th when Uranus entered Gemini for an 8th year journey. Reminder, it's the first visit there since the 1940s.
Oof.
Okay. So it will throw you a communication curveball or two, since Gemini rules your third house of communication, neighborhoods, and ideas. Then on the 7th, also, we also have a total lunar eclipse in Pisces, which activates the same arena, resurfacing buried emotions and forgotten baggages. Alas, you won't be able to sweep this stuff under the rug like you normally do. Give yourself the gift of doing the healing work so you can lighten your psychic load. You're going to need to do it. People may be a bit less reliable over the next couple of months, but this could pave the way for new partnerships or new emerging relationships, okay? Romantically, you're in high season while Venus struts through Leo and your flamboyant fifth house of love until September 19th. Once the love planet shifts into your Virgo, after that, you'll become more intentional about your love goals. How, what exactly you want out of it. Keep in mind that wherever the sun goes is where the spotlight shows or shines. And the sun will travel through your sixth house of health and work until the 21st. Then it will enter your seventh house of partners. A partial solar eclipse in Virgo on September 21st offers a powerful fresh restart. perfect for setting new intentions around wellness. You mentioned your health, getting back to workout, right? Work and daily habits, or building on ones you kicked off with the August 23rd Virgo new moon. Sultry vibes will seep into every area of your life after the 22nd, when you when your ruler molten Mars will move into Scorpio until November 4th. Once Mars enters Scorpio on the 22nd, your focus and action will shift to what other people's money. Your vibe
Mm,
is all or nothing. Now
mm,
that careful not to flood, and just be careful not to flood people with too much intensity. Saturn will retrograde back into your 12th house for nearly 6 more months, returning to your sign next year. Some things in your life are wrapping up to make way for the new, which will happen in a big way in 2026, if you know what I mean. The
mhm,
two eclipses that falls into your 12th and 6th houses, so uh, uh, that had occurred, expected to focus on what is ending and beginning,
mhm.
and what you're doing at work or business. And over the summer, you may radically shift your attitude about something, maybe a few innovative ideas, new friends, or started scouting different areas to live. I know I am.
Mhm.
But processing all of this may have further thrown you off and may make you feel overwhelmed by all the new information you've been absorbing. Advice: try to be or stay flexible and try to take it easy.
Right
Not
on.
an easy thing for Aries.
No, no. So I'm going to grab Taurus, right? I'm going to go
Yeah.
ahead and get started.
Oof.
Taurus,
Yeah.
your horoscope for September 2025. The only thing constant is change this month, which can be challenging for your stability, love for this stability loving sign. The good news, who's on Team Toro? On September 1, retrograde Saturn slips back from Aries into Pisces in the 11th house of friends, redirecting your attention to your social circle. So you may connect with old friends more often now. Certain alliances could go through a stress test revealing who you can and can't depend on. This is important. Uranus slips into its annual retrograde on the 6th, which could throw a wrench into a few initiatives before November 7th. But stay flexible with your budget, as you may need to allocate personal resources differently than we've ever expected this fall. So you may have to do some juggling when it comes to personal finances. That's not all. It's officially eclipse season on the 7th, when that total lunar full moon eclipse in Pisces reveals hidden dynamics within a group. Your ruling planet Venus begins the month in Leo, harmonizing your home life and giving you the urge to nest. Yet still stay yet still saying to enjoy get-togethers at home while Venus is in your 4th house for the first 18 days of the month. So for those first 18 days, staying home and getting together with friends is a good idea. After the 18th, the love planets move into Virgo and tries to lure you out for dress-up dates, red carpet events, and some high-key romantic adventures. You'll notice that the two eclipses fall in your 11th and 5th houses, spotlighting love and friends until the 21st, when the focus becomes work and health. Then on the 21st, the solar or new moon eclipse in Virgo blows fresh energy toward your creative projects and may even reveal an unexpected romantic opportunity. Also on the 21st, Mars moves into your 7th house of partners, so you may need to be careful to avoid conflict when this happens. Then Venus moves to your passionate creative 5th house, swirling through as Virgo's sun shines through until September 22nd. Your romantic nature will be in full force and people will appreciate your creative insights. You'll regain a bit of balance once Libra season starts with the equinox on the 22nd, that fall equinox coming up. Ground back into your healthy routines like eating clean and getting sufficient sleep. But no rest for the bulls this month. The very same day, sultry Mars enters Scorpio, intensifying your relationship zone. Partnerships could get passionate, but power dynamics may come into play. Build on efforts you began with the first new moon in Virgo on August 23rd. Stretch out those late summer days, Taurus. There are still 3 weeks left for the season to save of the season to savor. And I know my Taurian friends love their summer season. So lean into your joie de vivre and let your big ideas have the stage. For now, there are moments to be savored. Don't let your practical side steal all the fun. The sooner you handle these items, the faster you can get back to following your bliss. Better yet, outsource as many tasks as you can to a capable support person or specialist. This is your time to let loose instead of carrying the load for everyone else. Right on.
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
So, Gemini. Okay. With Jupiter in your second house of money, you should feel financially blessed this month. As as stern Saturn retrograded back into Pisces on September 1st, unfinished business demands your attention. So the first 21 days of the month are associated with communication and immediate family members. When the sun moves into Virgo, your focus will shift to the home entirely. Are you planning changes with the home? Because if so, you will be happy with them. Saturn will return to your 10th house of career this month as well. Often, with Saturn in this placement, we have big accomplishments that work out in your favor. So it's beneficial for you for that. Adding to that, squeeze Uranus turns retrograde in your sign on September 6th, stirring up internal restlessness and the urge to break free from old patterns. Grant yourself grace and space to work through the feelings that arises, but don't numb out because it feels overwhelming, okay? Don't do that to yourself. Venus moves between Leo and Virgo this month as well, meaning supportive people are all around you who can guide you through any transitions that you need help with. Major career news could arrive around September 7th as the total lunar eclipse in Pisces rocks your 10th house of success. Your efforts since the spring could bring a flood of rewards, or you could arrive at a turning point that forces you to let go of an outdated role of any kind. Looking for a new place to bring your to hang your hoodie, or just moving. Okay, the real estate gods may be on your side with back to back new moons in Virgo on August 23rd and September 21st. But the solar eclipse in Virgo on September 21st is considered a rare second new moon in Virgo, and it offers a powerful reset, perfect for new beginnings in your living situation or your family dynamics. If this all feels extra, fear not. And since this second one is a solar eclipse, an exciting upgrade to your living situation could appear out of the blue. So, again, anything dealing with hanging your hoodie somewhere else would be great. Keep your mind and eyes open for a fixer upper listing or a job offer that could even come with relocation. Work life balance, what does that look like for you right now? Remember, September brings a mix of home life and a career shifts as retrogrades and eclipses pushes you to evaluate your path. But no slipping on those career goals, okay? The eclipses will fall in your 10th and 4th houses. So this will create a major focus on work along with home and some family and domesticity and emotional foundations time during the Virgo eclipse until September 22nd. When Mars enters Scorpio on the 22nd, you'll become more focused on work, and you may want to make sure that you don't get too run down physically, okay? Don't burn yourself out. Libra season begins with the fall equinox on the 22nd, bringing balance along with a high octane boost of positive, passionate, and playful energy. Mars enters Scorpio that same day, pushing you to focus on wellness and work. Bring some order to your court, but have fun doing it as well. Think dance classes, brainstorming over smoothie bowls, networking with leaders, and flirting like it was your second job. Okay,
Mm.
enjoy that time.
Hey.
Tend to your roots. Tend to your roots. Pick up that beach reader novel that you want never got to finish or even start. Spruce up your home decor with a few seasonal accessories like cashmere throw for chilly mornings or a new fall scented candle, whatever floats your boat. Host a
Mhm.
little gathering at Chateau Gemini to welcome everyone back from summer.
Right
All
on.
right.
Let's jump to
Chateau
Cancer.
Gemini. That's funny.
Yep. All right, for you Cancerians, your September 2025 horoscope. September begins in full social swing, and your calendar could be packed in short order. Early in the month, there are waves of uncertainty to contend with. All right. So, on the first, Saturn retrograded back into Pisces, which may have forced you to reconsider some of your personal beliefs or even academic goals. When Changemaker Uranus starts its yearly retrograde on the 6th, tomorrow, buried issues could bubble to the surface. So pay attention and be prepared for that. Consider deeper forms of healing to process these memories. Hypnotherapy, for example, energy work, EMDR, even plant medicine. After this, Venus in Virgo will transit your third house of communication, amping up things in this area. Planning a party? All right. Well, this will be a great time. The fall eclipses will fall in your ninth and third houses. Cancer, you should have a positive and fruitful September with Jupiter, the planet of gain and expansion, in your sign and Venus in your second house of income through the 18th. A total lunar eclipse in Pisces on September 7th brings a major breakthrough related to your worldview. With travel, education, publishing, or dealing with people at a distance, and the solar eclipse on the 21st, it will connect you with learning, short trips, or immediate family members. This tide turning month of retrogrades and eclipses brings a chance to reset and reflect. The sun is making its annual visit to Virgo, activating your third house of community and communication until September 22nd, when it enters your fourth house of home. With Venus moving from Leo into Virgo on the 19th, your communication skills are both sharp and compelling. But forget about slipping out of social commitments. Get ready. All right. You may be invited to speak on a panel, guest on a podcast, or catch a wave of inspiration to begin a Substack. Make the rounds at your neighborhood hotspots. Host a little pregame tapas party and hop between gatherings, apple picking, Sunday football, early fall festivals. I mean, Cancer, you got it going on. Social calendar packed. Immerse yourself in brainstorming sessions at work or join a creative collaboration, even. But that's not all. On the 21st, the second in a rare pair of Virgo new moons arrives, and it's also a galvanizing solar eclipse with back to back Virgo new moons highlighting your community relations house on August 23rd and September 21st. Expand your guest list to include some new faces. Cooperative ventures get a burst of momentum from these moonbeams. All right. New collaborators could emerge in the most obvious everyday places. Who knew? Start slowly and test the waters with a one off project to see if your styles truly mesh. Lusty Mars enters Scorpio on September 22nd, intensifying your focus on creativity and romance. Your passions will be running high between now and November 4th, so beam that heat selectively. Right on. All right. So then I know next week we'll be going through, I guess, the other signs, huh? Right on. Now, of course, we have to pull a card.
All righty. So, Rhonda, what are we pulling a card for tonight?
I'm listening through all the work that the signs have going on, and we have
I
these
know,
double
right?
Virgo new moons. But I'm thinking that the one of the things that stood out for me was this notion of really paying attention to your health and doing all that kind of stuff. So let's just pull a card to see, what do we got to focus on health wise, since we all need to
Okay,
be
all
doing
right.
something.
That sounds good.
Let's look at that.
Ah, look at that. Okay. So what did you get, girl?
I got the 6 of cups. The
All
6 of
right. Oh my
cups. That's
gosh.
interesting. Oh my gosh, is that don't tell me that's what you got too. But
No,
anyway,
no, no, but close enough.
the 6 of cups, which is the card traditionally it reminds us about this reminiscence or looking back and this innocent love and this childlike and pure love, if you will. I call it puppy love. So when I look at this and I say, what is this, what do I need to look at right now when it comes to my own health? My own health. This for me is just reminding myself to be joyful, playful, spend time focusing on those things and those people that I love. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. And even to the point of even looking back and reconnecting with old friends or people I may have lost contact with, but who are people who I cherish and people who are important to me. That because all of that, when you're in that space of love, it is a place of support and healing and peace. That's how I see that. And that for me is helpful, just health wise.
Okay. All right. Mine, no, it's just that we tend to end up in the same kind of,
Oh my
this is
gosh.
Ace of Cups.
Yes.
And if you look at it, it's such a beautiful card. And
It's a
health wise, I was
beautiful
thinking of
card.
two different things I thought of
Mm,
when I saw it. The whole cup run it over because it's just allowing being overwhelmed by too many things coming at me, and to learn to step back from it. But also, health wise, I think I'm looking at it and it's such a peaceful thing, like a Zen space of looking at the lilies and everything underwater, because
mhm,
I, I went right away to my aquatherapy that I go to 3 times a week, which is like
mhm.
my Zen space.
Yep.
I literally did not know how to swim, and I am, because I'm there 3 days a week, I am literally doing it without being taught.
That is
I
amazing.
am I am with fins on in the water. I'm with all kinds of stuff I'm doing and working out in the water, and it's bringing such a healing to my body that I recommend it to my worst enemy, and not even my best friend, my worst enemy. If you have any, even if you don't have any ailment with the body, just being in the water is so rejuvenating and
Yeah.
healing and everything. And it is, I don't even know how to explain it. All the things I cannot
I-
do on land, I can do in the water, and then
Yes. That's a beautiful every
amazing,
time I see
amazing
that
healing.
Ace of Cups when it comes to healing and health, immediately I go to healing waters and and
Yes,
and
yes,
the and the healing that comes from waters, whether it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
with the aquatherapy or and
Yes,
people
yes.
used
That's
to.
why I told you. I went straight to
Yes,
that. I was just like,
yes,
wow, this is so on point for me because it is my Zen space. And if anybody tries to
that is
disrupt it, I tell
beautiful.
them, stop. This is my
Yeah,
Zen space. Do not
yeah.
bring anything from the world outside, kind
Don't.
of a
I'm with
thing.
you.
So I
I
think
am with
that's such
you.
an appropriate card for me right now and for yours. I hope it's for you as well.
It
Um,
it is because tomorrow is my dad's 95th birthday party, so the
mm,
celebration is on. It will be connecting with relatives I haven't seen in decades. So it
wow,
isn't
nice,
reminiscence,
nice.
it is being with, loved ones, it is looking back, it is reflective. It's
Yeah, yeah.
simple, it's pure, it's just be with the people who mean something to you. That's it.
Right, right.
All
Yeah,
that's all it's
exactly.
about.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome.
So,
All
right on.
right. So next week we have our guest Carolyn Tully that will be coming to join us on September 12th.
Right on.
So we can't wait to see her. And Rhonda and I would like to thank everyone for being
Yes.
on the show with us, even in the chat. We really
Yes.
appreciate all of you that have been with us. Again, we would like to thank Michael Correll, or Uncle Birch, as many of you know him as, for being with us tonight. We appreciated him so much,
Yes.
um, uh, and I would wish him all the best.
Right
And
on.
Rhonda,
Please do like, subscribe, and share. Thank you all so much for again taking the time to
Yes.
join us on Fridays. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
And we,
And blessed lunar eclipse full moon on Monday.
yes,
Monday? Is it Monday the 7th?
it's the 7th. So
The 7th is what?
no, that's
Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay.
Sunday.
So on the
Yes.
7th, blessed all the total lunar eclipse it in Pisces. Oh my goddess, it is going to be
It's going to be an excellent
transformational.
one.
It is
Right
going to be
on.
transformational and wonderful. And hope to see many of you guys at ritual on that night as well. All right. Take care.
Have a great night,
Many
everyone.
blessings.